Okay.
Good to go? All right. Welcome everybody out to the town council meeting, February 4th. First item on the agenda is public comment. That's for any issue doesn't appear on the agenda that you need to talk to the town council about. Does anybody have anything tonight that they'd like to address the council on? No? Okay. Item number 2, business licenses. Okay, we have some renewals, Coleman Trucking, Classic Beauty Supply, Wes's Auto Shop, Full Scope Sewing, Computer Nerds, and then we have a couple of new ones, Out West Accounting Tax Service. It's Randy Upton is the owner. Got all of them?
And then Julie Gibbons Grooming.
They're the ones that showed up.
By the door of our feet.
Is that you? Okay.
Okay. Is there any comment from the council? Nope. Okay, I entertain a motion.
Well, Julie, can you tell us a little bit about your business, since you're here? What you're going to be doing, and you have employees, and
I've been grooming at TJ's Nut Cuts for almost 13 years. And there's just been some changes in our lives where our health insurance has changed. And so I just have to work less for someone else or invest in myself a little more.
okay.
So we're just trying to make different decisions. And as of right now, it's pretty much just a kind of a family thing that we, my daughter comes and helps me once in a while and stuff like that, just small. I like to keep it on the small end so I have time to spend with the dogs and stuff. I get nervous and shaky.
Well, don't be nervous.
I know. I can't talk to people. I talk to people every day, all day long. But yeah, just more on the small side, just kind of thing.
And your hours of operation, have you thought of that?
Just the normal, like 9 to 6 kind of thing.
So how many clients would you be servicing at a time?
For the day, usually,
On site? How many would you have on site during a routine day?
on my normal basis day, for the most part, there's 6 dogs. On a busy day in the summer, sometimes I do 10, 12 at the most, but that's on a crazy day
That's crazy.
at Mud Cuts, but yeah. But
Okay.
I'd like to tone it down a little.
Okay. We wish you much success on that.
Thank you.
Do we have any other complaints on anything else, Eric?
No,
Okay.
no complaints on anything else there.
Where's the new accountant going to be at?
They're also present.
Hi, so that's us. So we live up on Crazy Acres.
Okay.
Actually, it's mostly going to be online. I work at American Fork, travel a lot in spring. So a lot of it's going to be done honestly online in a hotel room wherever I'm traveling. So
Okay.
just want to make sure we're legal and have the business license.
So people won't be coming in and out of your house, I mean?
No, we don't have a room for them to do that.
Okay.
And so that's not really the intent right now.
Okay.
So.
So are you doing payroll?
Yeah, I mean, we can get into that. I'm an accountant by trade, so I'm really kind of starting it for a couple of our daughters, so they can stay home, watch kids, and help with the bookkeeping and the taxes. And have something to do there. I've got a few clients right now that I've already been working with for a long time, so we just decided to make it official. See where. So.
Yeah. Okay, any other comments from the council? Any other questions? Entertain a motion?
Make a motion to accept the business licenses and renewals.
We have a motion, is there a second?
I second it.
Got a motion and a second, any discussion? Seeing none, call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Any opposed? That's all of us. There's only 3 of us here.
Yeah.
The mayor, I forgot to excuse him, he's over at the DBT grant public hearing right now, so he'll be joining us in just a little while.
Keep it going, we might be done.
That's right.
Oh, you're on a roll.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is approval of the annual resolution 2019-2-4A. This resolution is dealing with the, what we talked about, the extension of building permits.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and read that. It's a resolution to adopt a modified building permit extension. The purpose is to extend the existing building permit to accommodate permit holders to complete their projects. Whereas the Daniel Town Council, as duly elected governing body of the town of Daniel in the capacity and duty to care for the public safety and health of our constituents, does hereby adopt a modified fee schedule for extending current building permits. The Utah statute is Title 10 that allows the town the authority to do that. The town of Daniel encourages the completion of projects. In so doing, has adopted this resolution to extend to building permits on a limited basis. Associated with this extension is a modified fee schedule of 10% per year, plus the adjusted current fees up to 5 years. This will allow 1-year extension from the time the fees are paid to complete the current permits. Any comment on that?
So moved.
Is that what, sound like what we had?
Yeah, that's what we had. The 5 years is kind of throwing me though, but that's what we said.
Yeah, we went through two cycles is what we talked about.
That's right, got it.
So I entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve resolution DR 2019-2-4A, a resolution to adopt a modified building permit extension.
Okay, I have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
We're working good tonight.
We are.
You're on a roll.
Okay, that'll take us to item number 4, Planning Department report violations and enforcement. You have in your packet there, you have a planning report. Do you have any questions on that? Thank you, Mary.
The irrigation meeting is on Wednesday, I believe.
Is it Wednesday?
Yes.
This Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I don't know if we have a representative from the town going to that. We own 17 shares, I believe.
I'll be there.
I'll be there.
We'll be there.
Okay. They'll be talking about this adjudication that's going on. It's slowly making its way to the Heber Valley, so they've started in Salt Lake, they came around the point of the mountain, they're working their way through Provo, and then they'll probably be up here probably by December of this year.
Okay.
So we'll be looking at making sure that if your neighbors aren't watering, they need to get watering. They need to show beneficial use. That'll be the criteria, so.
We just need to water as much as we can.
As much as you're allowed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Take as much as you're allowed.
Yeah.
They'll take an aerial photo and they'll look at it and they'll say, you got this much water, this many acre feet, you're only doing this many acres. That will go back to the state, because they own the water, we only own the right to use it, so that'll be good. Now, there is municipalities, there is a clause in there that we can hold so much for future growth. We may have to have the engineering company put a number with that
Okay.
that shows our future growth and what percentage we're able to hold on to, but there is a clause for that they won't, and especially if the problem may become that we haven't switched it over for use for culinary, and so we may have to file a change of use. that will make it more secure, but as that gets closer, we'll have to look at that.
Hopefully everyone will work together and we can get started on that sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
So if we have more shares than what we use, can you lease them out or
yes.
as long to other people so they're getting used? Is
Yes.
that the best way to?
If you have extra ones, as long as you can prove beneficial use, then that covers you on those. So, yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't have to be on the same property.
No, doesn't have to be on it at all. And they said beneficial use proof is a lease that you've leased to somebody else. That's showing
As long as the
beneficial.
water's being used in Daniels,
Yeah,
they can do that, right?
well, I don't know, they can't do that. They should.
They should.
Because Eric, I read something too, that they were starting to look at metering too for the irrigation for individuals, but then that was put away from table right now.
Well, that's, the state legislature's had that on, that voted on that for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure it'll be back. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure it'll be back on there.
Okay.
And that's how that's gonna come down, is they'll start, that's exactly how it'll be, but they'll make you run it through a meter, but they'll still look at your overall variety in this adjudication. The meter is actually a separate issue.
How many gallons is it there, or how do you know?
Is Daniel irrigation, is that,
16,000
260,000 gallons per year, something like that.
so they say you need 4.3 shares per acre, is what Daniel irrigation says,
4.3, okay.
if that helps.
And if you have more, that's okay, but just use it.
Well, that's what they'll look at. If you don't, if you're not using, if you have more than 4.3 acres, that's jeopardy to be taken.
But if you're using it, not.
If you're using more than 4.3 on that acre, it's in jeopardy,
Really?
yes. Because they calculate that's what it takes to do the acre. If you're using more than you're overwatering, in their eyes, that's not a beneficial use.
You have a happy medium then.
Yeah, so you want to be as close to that number as you can be.
1.3 shares.
That's the Daniel irrigation. The other,
That's a lot of water.
Yeah, I have a lot of shares.
Yeah, but I mean, for 1 acre, that's leaching water around 24 hours a day.
No, I don't think that,
Years ago,
we only have four shares.
when they started doing the,
We use it like once a week, is all we get, according to our.
doing that deal between, George and
Yeah,
Hill,
that's some more too.
Oh,
We're on the
Oh.
we're talking about.
We don't have
The
to-
wheel line,
you
the
know,
way I
right
turning
on.
it,
You
I
got a
need
3-inch
it
pipe.
to keep
We're
running.
gonna start listening around.
The way I turn my wheel line, I need it.
Yeah, we have more shares.
well, that was actually the city. Cut the city
I
shares
know,
out.
but I wouldn't make it
They-
for mine.
Yeah, and that's when the
Buy more
state
shares.
legislature jumped in and said, wait a minute.
Something like that.
They told, that was Kent Jones that was in charge of that. They told him, you can't go after municipalities. That's when they put that isolation in place. But that was prior, and they did take those municipal shares out there. So that's when the legislature stepped in and told the state engineer that he couldn't do that. Municipalities have that for future growth, so. I don't think they gave it back, but I don't think they can do it anymore.
Yeah.
Again, if the legislature meets, they could do it again, I mean, if they decide to, so. That's why it's important to be on top of the legislators too.
Is that Daniel's too?
So much to do, so little time.
Yes. Okay, February 21st, the interlocal meeting at the Heber City Chambers. This is all the local governments, they all meet together. Talk about valley-wide things. Earlier in the day, they'll meet and we'll talk about interlocal
What
planning.
What time?
That will be at 7 o'clock and it's on the bottom of your report.
7 o'clock in the
Morning,
or
right
7
here on the
o'clock
bottom of your report.
evening or?
Evening.
Evening, okay.
So that's a good meeting, there's a lot goes on there. If you're free, you ought to go to that, that's a good one. Okay, any other questions or comments on the planning report? Okay. That will take us to item number 5, Daniel Municipal Water. Any items for the water company? I think Gary's working tonight. You got anything, Shelley?
Bills are going out late because we had another glitch with our system. So if the mayor gets called, sorry. And how's that? Other than that, no, we've done good.
No, it's on the Daniels irrigation meeting, it's Wednesday, I believe.
It is, correct.
Yeah, that's what she said, it was Wednesday. Okay. So we. like
Oh, and I
Shelley-
do have training this month, and I am leaving for training that you guys approved. So I'll be gone the last week in February for the whole week down in St. George, okay? Yes, hopefully.
As long as you're back by that Monday.
I won't be.
All right.
Oh, I will be back by
Don't enjoy
that week.
yourself too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, training, a
Yeah.
lot of fun there. Lots of fun there.
Are you getting to go down there too?
Me? Yeah, I'm actually there the week before for weed conference.
Oh,
The noxious weed conference is the week before, so. Yep, I'll come back with more knowledge too. Bigger
okay.
weed list probably.
I was down there last week, the conference room was warm and, oh no, it's fun.
That's it. That's usually what you get to see.
I heard it was really nice outside too.
That's wrong, and I forgot to change it,
That's all
and
you
then I
get
forgot
to
to pay my
see.
bill because I kept saying, I need.
Okay, item number, anything else on Daniel? We
How's
good there?
that? You want that one?
Item number 6, Storm Haven Water. Okay, I handed you out a sheet for Storm Haven Water. Ryan's gonna explain this, and then I'll get a motion from you.
So, quick review, we got our CDBG grant almost a year ago now. It's actually a year ago tonight we were applying for it. Got awarded sometime in about September. Long story on why we're here tonight and not here a few months ago. Nonetheless, we're here finally. We got 3 bids for the well. This is part 1 of 2 to do the work. So the grant,
She retired.
small problem, grant's $330,000 plus or minus. The low bid is
I don't know,
$346,000.
it probably goes the wrong place.
And then they go up from that. Part of that was that we had to put our engineer's estimate together back in 2017 to file, to go through the whole process to get to here tonight. We underestimated how rapidly things are increasing in price. The good news is, I think, I was just on the phone on my way over here with everybody involved, the designer of the well, and then the apparent low bidder. I think we can negotiate a change order to get us down to at least the grant monies, if not maybe a little bit below, which will save us a few dollars for part 2, where we have to put a pump in the well and actually connect it to the existing system. So, I guess I can open up for questions, but I guess maybe I should start with the motion I need, and then you can ask the questions before we can get to there or make a different motion.
Okay.
Is, we've previously approved funds to go after the CDBG grant, and we've previously had public hearings and lots of motions about this. They were just so long ago, I think we've all forgotten. I don't need any more money tonight, but I would like a motion to award the project to Ellen Lang to drill the well, with the understanding that I'm gonna negotiate a change order that will get us at or under the grant funds.
So moved.
Or you could ask lots of questions, but I'll take it.
Okay, so we have a motion on the table. Is there a second?
We just, for a minute. So do you think that you can get them to come down to 330?
Yes, from 371.
So what was this 346? Is this from,
Great question. So,
Hold
So
on,
do you-
before we get out of,
Is it this one?
will you second that and then
I'll
we'll do
second, I'll
discussion?
second it.
Thank you. I have a, now discussion on the motion.
Okay.
great question. So the apparent low bidder changed my unit quantities so that I didn't have apples to apples. When he changed his unit quantities, his bid comes out to 372,860.
Okay, from two.
To put this bid tab together, I can't have drillers changing quantities on me, it makes life hard. So I changed them back and used his unit quantities. When I do that, his price drops to 346,460. Either way, he's the apparent low bidder. The reason comes in the drilling techniques, and that's part of where we're going to negotiate on our change order. The other part we're gonna negotiate on is depth. Right now, we wanted to go to 500 feet, which we think is the depth we need to produce all the water we could ever want up there. Our thoughts now are maybe we go to 350 or 400 feet, get the water we need now, and we'll build the well in such a way that it can be expanded at a later date. I hate to do that, but I hate to not use this money and not move forward more than I hate to have to do a well in two parts.
So tell them where you think the water is.
We think, using the existing well is at, the water level is about 60 feet. We're moving up the hill a little bit, so we think we're gonna find water between 80 and 100 feet is our static water level. So we believe that by going to 300 feet, we'll have, 300 or 400 feet, we'll have 200 or 300 feet of saturated thickness, which is a lot more now, a lot more than the existing well. The existing well has 40 feet on a good day, and we're talking about 200 to 300 feet. So it'll be a lot better well. We're also under a consent order from the EPA that says we're gonna have this well up and running by July.
So will we be able to do this?
I think so, yeah. So I think I can get this down, I think I can get this part done in the grant monies. I think we'll be back and asking for, you know, a little bit of cash, but I don't think I can get the new pump and the piping in without asking for some more help. I think we can do well drilled.
Piping to the tank? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, so I'm talking about the 50 feet of piping or 100 feet of piping from the new well that we're gonna drill into the existing tank and water system.
How big a pipe is that?
It's small, it's gonna be 3 or 4 inch.
Oh,
It's the cost of the excavation, not the cost of the pipe.
yep.
I'll buy the pipe, but that won't
I
help
hear
much.
ya. I hear you.
Get your shovel.
Don't put it above ground, and you'll break it.
The most expensive part will be a well pump, and I'm discussing and working through, can we take the one out of the well we have now and just use, you know, can I just move the well pump from one well to the other, and, you know, does the cost of pulling the pump and resetting the pump offset, you know, am I actually money ahead, or am I better off leaving that pump where it is and just buying another one? Because we're not in the high capacity, really expensive pump category, we're in the basically large domestic well category, so you can spend more picking pumps up and putting it back in than you do just buying a new one. And while I'd like to save money and I'd really like to get this project done without asking for any more town funds, I don't want to put in a used pump that's going to go bad in 2 years and have to come back out anyway.
How, what happens to that, when
Yeah, well-
when the new one takes over, is it, left, is it,
Right now, the plan is to leave it. The Division of Drinking Water wants us to disconnect it so that it's not a viable source. And once I'm confident the new well is working well, we can do that. It's part of why I'd like to have 2 pumps, because I'd really like to be able to run both of them for a time period while we transition, and I build confidence that the new well works like it's supposed to.
there you go.
Do we have an anticipated start date?
In the specs, I gave them anywhere between now, as soon as we award it, and the end of May, early June. And so we've left that to the contractor. That was part of the way I tried to get costs down, was I tried to give them flexibility in their schedule. It sounds like the winning bidder would like to get in and get out sooner rather than later, which we fully support, because that gives me more time to hit our consent order deadline.
So that would be good.
So if we can get this awarded soon enough, I'm happy to push it out a bit more.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a motion on the table to award it to Lang Equipment and a change order to try and get that down to our original funding. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Any more discussion? Seeing none, call for the vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. There you go.
Thank you.
No, thank you. That's a lot of work.
This has been one of the longer, more frustrating processes, and I'm glad we're here.
Anything else for Storm Haven? Okay. Item number 7, approval of the council meeting minutes, January 7th. Everybody had a chance to review them, any corrections or additions? Mine have already been included. If you don't have any, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes.
Okay, I have a,
January 7th.
okay, I have a motion, is there a second?
I second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second, any discussion? Seeing none, call for the vote, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries, minutes are approved. Recorder's office. Mary,
We did change the date on this up there.
what's that?
It's got 2018.
Oh, yep.
Typo.
Sucking around here. Okay, at the last minute, we did get a Wasatch County Public Works bill for snow removal for $5,924. That is not included on the warrants.
And they come down my road like 10 times when it snows. It's crazy.
Crazy. Move no snow.
Either complain because they come too much or not enough.
No, I don't wanna complain at all. I mean, it really was a lot. I mean, it was a lot.
Yeah.
Lay down the salt early yesterday morning.
Yeah, with a 4-day storm coming in, they tried to get
Oh,
started.
yeah, trying to keep up on, keep ahead of it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Where our guy keeps our brakes and for $5,000 a year. Okay, go ahead.
So with approval, I'd like to have that included. Okay, Comcast,
So we're just writing that right on snow removal line,
yeah,
5,924?
correct. Comcast office phone, 10184, DNA half dozen, office space 200. We didn't get anything from Smith and Harbison. Computer nerds, 225. Utah Local Government Trust was our work comp audit, 1,471.28. Utah, Central Utah Recorders, it's our annual, $100. Okay, TO planning, so we, remember last month, we didn't have the bills prior, so this month we are doubled. So for November, December planning, 270, January, to December to January, 410. Engineering from November to December, 225.50. Testing, there was nothing. Next, 445, Banger's 372.50. McCombs, 329.50. McCombs for the prior, 164.75. Calls, $500.50. Simus, $200.50. Baird's, $702.50. Baird's for the current 90. And then engineering for December and January, $392.50 total, $6,198.37. Eric's payroll hours, and then Wasatch County, which we're gonna include. Council, and then commission payrolls, total $13,832.17. County municipal water, monthly data charge for Century, $47.75. Heber Light and Power, $314.48. MTech Ford, $20, that's just the regular, and then there was the nitrate for $21. Mountain Land for waste P, $26.31. TO Engineering, again, this one's engineering for November, December for $340. Sampling, $45. Engineering for December, January, $195. And then sampling for $640, $1,649.54. And then payroll for a total of $2,506.34. Stormhaven Water monthly charge, $907 for Dominion Energy. Heber Light and Power, $191.83. Chemtech Ford testing for $40. TO, again, December to January is $1,127.50. Sampling for $225. Engineering for November, December, $1,627.50 for a total of $3,220.90. Payroll, and the total $3,409.60.
So the reason the T and O overlaps is because they bill on the 15th. So you'll see that show up twice.
So the intent on billing on the 15th is so that we get invoices to Mary by the end of the month. And then you have them as current as possible for this meeting. Unfortunately, in December, somebody went on vacation and we forgot to get them out, so you have 2 cents. Sorry.
Val didn't turn in any hours?
Only for storm haven. Or maybe it was just for Daniel, sorry, only Daniel, not for storm haven.
Okay. Any questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve the warrants
With the addition,
with the addition of the 5,924 for snowplow.
I make a motion to approve the warrants for January 2019 to include the snow removal of $5,924.
Okay, have a motion, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, have a motion and a second, any more discussion on the motion? Seeing none, call for the vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Anything else, Mary? You happy? Okay. I know the mayor wanted to go into closed session, talk about our lawsuits, and he's more up to date on them than I am, so I think we can probably skip over that tonight unless you guys wanna do that. If we don't see a need to go into closed session, I'll take a motion for number 10.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn tonight's meeting.
Okay, I have a motion, is there a
I
second?
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We stand adjourned till the first Monday.
All the meetings?
We make a motion.
Tell the mayor we was here till 11.
Is this the
Well,
story
wait.
that